In this video, we're going to have a look at some other programs used for querying relational data. Now that we know how to build select statements, in this video and the next few, we're going to have a look at various programs that we can use to query against SQL database. So I've already shown you one. We have got here in the portal, that's the name for this entire window that we can see here, the Azure portal, we have got the query editor. So very easy to use. You just have to log into Microsoft Azure using your credentials, then log into database, either using database credentials, or if you have got relevant credentials, you can log in using Active Directory authentication. So that's the same way that you log into Azure using Active AAD, Azure Active Directory. Now, another way is using the command line. And if I go to the start at the bottom and I type in command CMD, this will get me to my command prompt. Now, I can use a command called SQLCMD. So SQL command. Now, I need to say what the server is. So hopefully you've copied the server name. So in my version, I'll just press Ctrl and V to paste. There we can see the server name. It's something that ends .database.windows.net. Then we need the database. Well, my database is called DP900. Then we need the username. Now bear in mind, I'm using -s, capital S, -d, that's a lowercase d. All of this is important, these uppercases and lowercase. -u, there's your username, so DP900 as well. And -p, there's my password. Now it could be, if you're using spaces, you might need to enclose them in quotation marks. So press enter, and now we can see a different prompt. So it's asking me to type in my statement. So I'm just going to say select star from and name of a table. So I'm going to use the same table as I've done before. And actually, I'm just going to say, give me the first 10 rows. And I could also say order by and maybe address ID descending. Now to terminate this batch, I need to type in the word go. So that lets the computer know I've finished. Press enter and it executes. So there is my answer. Here are my first 10 rows. Just increase the font size in case you're looking at this on a mobile device. My first 10 rows in descending order of address ID, and it uses exactly the same syntax as we've just been learning our select statement. Now, as I say, DP900 is not a course where you actually have to do things, you just need to know about things. It's a knowledge-based course. So you won't need to know more about SQL command, you won't need to know, for instance, all of the syntax that you can use. It's probably best to know when you can use SQL command. You can use it as a command prompt like I've done, or you can use it in query editor in SQL command mode. That's part of SQL Server Management Studio. I'll look at that later. You could run it in a bat file, so that's a script which might execute lots of these different commands. So you might be able to, for instance, export this somewhere. You could use it in SQL Server Agent. So that's something that you can set up to run at a certain time within SQL Server. Largely, you'll be either running it as here in the command prompt, or if we go back to our Microsoft Azure portal, you'd also be running it here in the Azure Cloud Shell. So I'll show you more about this when we get onto the Azure Cloud Shell, but just imagine that this is an interface where you can type in your commands. Now, it supports quite a lot of things. For instance, you can log in using Azure Active Directory authentication. So what that means is you can use exactly the same username and password that you've got in Azure, and then it will check your Azure account to see if you've got permissions to access that database. You might not have. Just because you've got permission to go into Azure doesn't mean you've got permissions to go into SQL database. They can be set up differently. You can also use this for something called Synapse Analytics. but we'll be looking at that later as part of the data warehousing. So there's a lot of detail that you can go into. However, for the DP900 course, basically you need to know of its existence and that you can query using it. So if you're asked a question, for instance, if I want to use a command line interface to query SQL, what should I do? Then one of your right answers could well be SQL command. Now, the requirements of the DP900 exam say the below list is not definitive or exhaustive. And it also says identify query tools such as the 3 that we've looked at, etc. So I want to briefly mention some other query tools that you might be using. An obvious one, for instance, is Excel. So in Excel, you can get data from a database. So if I get data from just an SQL Server database, so I know it is a special sort of database, it's Azure, it's on the cloud, but that doesn't matter to Excel. So here we have our server, so we type in our server name, database, optional, well it's a DP900, and you can see some other options that I'm just going to skip. It says, what credentials do you want to use? Well, I want to use database level credentials rather than Windows credentials. So there's my username and there's my password. So I will connect. So now Excel has connected. So it says, well, what do I want to connect to? Well, here's my address table. I can either load the data or I can transform the data. Transforming the data means I get into this Power Query editor where I can do other things. For instance, I can say I only want those state provinces, which are Washington. And the good thing about Excel Power Query is that it folds it into a native query. So that instead of going, okay, give me everything from this table, and then as a next step, let's filter this down to Washington, it then combines the two together. So it says, give me everything from this table where state province is equal to Washington. So it only runs one query rather than two. So then I can close and load, and here's the data loaded. I don't need the data to be actually in the Excel spreadsheet. Let's say I wanted to create a pivot table based on that. That's absolutely fine. I could go to pivot table. I will use that connection. And so without the data actually being shown in Excel, I can then create whatever I want. I could also combine it with other pieces of data in the data model or Power Pivot. But this gets to a completely different course. This is exam 70-779 for Excel. So whilst all of this is very useful, the key thing about this is you can get data from an Azure database just like you can any other SQL Server database. Another way you can do it is through Visual Studio. So Visual Studio, this is quite often where you would create things in other aspects of SQL Server. So a cube for SQL Server Analysis Services, SSAS, or maybe a report in SSRS, the reporting services. But you can use this to connect to SQL Server and just write a query. So again, going to connect exactly the same way. So server name, use SQL Server Authentication, though you can see it does support Active Directory as well. And there's my username and password. And so let's change the database so that we're looking at DP900 and select star from. And we'll have exactly the same one, the sales LT dot address. So there we have our results in Visual Studio. You can also use Visual Studio Code, so you can integrate this as part of a program. So a program can do something else and then query a database and then go back on to doing something else. So there are lots of query tools. Excel, both for Windows and for Macintosh. Visual Studio, that's for Mac, for Linux, and for Windows. Lots of different tools. Now the main tools you'll probably be talked about are Azure Data Studio, SQL Server Management Studio, SQL Command, but if in your own work you also want to integrate it with Excel or you want to integrate it with Visual Studio, then that can be done as well. Coming up, we'll have a short quiz, so you can test yourself on what you've seen in this video. Now, if you want to know more about Azure and data, then please go to our website, idodata.com. In our DP900 course, then you'll find all about Azure and the SQL language, relational data workloads and data services, non-relational data, and other topics such as common elements of a modern data warehouse. If you want more on Azure, then we've also got the AZ900 course, which looks at core Azure services, core solutions and migration on Azure, management and security features, and identity and governance features. So for this and more, please go to our website, idodata.com. Right, let's start the quiz. Question 1. I want to use a GUI. So GUI stands for Graphical User Interface, so a visual program, to easily manage an Azure SQL database, adding additional security. What program should I use? SQLCMD, SQL Server Management Studio, Azure Data Studio, or Visual Studio? The correct answer is SQL Server Management Studio. So it can handle deep administrative configuration and security management. If you said SQLCMD, well, that is a command line interface program and not a GUI program. If you said Azure Data Studio, then unfortunately you can't do deep security or administrative actions in Azure Data Studio. It's basically for editing and running queries. Visual Studio could work, but it wouldn't be easy to do. You would have to use Visual Studio Code, which is not easy. Question number 2. I want to use a command line interface to query an Azure SQL database. What program should I use? The options are the same as before. And the answer is SQLCMD. That is the only one which is a CLI. All the rest are visual GUI, Graphical User Interface programs. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please click like, and why not subscribe and click that bell? That way you'll be notified of any new videos. In the playlist on the end screen, you'll find more videos about Azure and Azure Data. If you want more videos about Microsoft Azure and Azure Data, then please click the playlist on the end screen. I'm Philip Burton of idodata.com. Thanks for watching and keep learning.